Welcome back to another video. Welcome to the coolest channel on YouTube. Smash that like button. Hey, we in for a good video. Don't believe anything you see in these videos? Do your own research. Let's get to it.
One common sign of a frenemy, of somebody who's befriending you out of envy, is they're in a rush to be your friend. Normally, we like to take it a little bit slow. We just don't let anybody into our lives. We like to vet them a little bit beforehand. We don't trust everybody. But the person who feels envy is like, I love you, you're fantastic, I want to be your friend, we gotta hang out, let's go out for dinner the next night, etc. They're in a hurry. That's a sign that something else is going on, because that's not natural. The fake smile, if you can just master the ability to detect the fake smile, it will go wonders for you, particularly in romantic relationships. Someone whose face lights up, a real smile lights your whole face up. It just doesn't light your mouth. These parts of your face go up, your eyes get alive. It means that someone genuinely likes you, they're genuinely interested in you, they're genuinely laughing or connecting to you. And if you can see that, it'll help you get away from those toxic people that are continually faking interest in you.
With the education we've been given, the history we've been given, and quite literally everything we've been told by this system is a lie. All of it. And the depths of this lie is quite literally so profound and so all-pervasive that it's almost impossible for most people to even see, because it is quite literally so big that it covers virtually every single aspect of our lives. Virtually everything we've been told about everything is backwards. Now, I'm going to cover some topics on the show today that will probably seem very esoteric and right out of left field for people, but it's just stuff that needs to be addressed. It's just stuff that I want to talk about. It's important at the beginning of the discussion to lay the groundwork that is needed to even begin thinking about these things, and that groundwork is the clear understanding that everything we've been told is a lie. All of it. Our history, who we are, where we come from, our religions, our food, our medicine, what this world is, quite literally everything is a lie. And that's why it's so difficult to ever really discover the truth and to wake up the people around us, because all of the information that we're even researching, most of it, has been falsified. That is why people are constantly locked into different belief systems, why they continue to argue with each other, and why they continue to perpetuate their divide and conquer programming. Because in everything that they're looking at and all the information that they've got, they never even factor in the reality that in any investigation into the past, which is invariably where we look to find out what happened and what brought us to this point, most of the information that we glean from old books about historical figures has been doctored, rearranged and rewritten, and in some cases it's actually even doubtful that many of these people even actually existed. In many cases, works were attributed to people who didn't do those works. In many cases, discoveries were most likely attributed to people who never made those discoveries. Many events were simply fabricated, and many people simply did not do what we were told they did. And as I said, in the case of many of them, it's doubtful that they ever even existed. Or if they did exist, it very often was not when we were told they existed, and very often the information they presented was doctored to fit the current version of reality. Though very often, no doubt, there were little gems left in there just to keep the people guessing and just to keep the people fighting and arguing and squabbling and looking for the deeper meaning without ever really stepping back and looking at reality as a whole. The thing is, people really do need to understand clearly that this is our starting point. This is what we've got to work with. The fact that everything we've been told is a lie, and we cannot rely on any of the information that we get from any books anywhere. Certainly not any books that have been put on the scene since the invention of the printing press anyway. Perhaps we can find some truth in old books such as the Vedas, perhaps the Nagamani library, if there was a real interpretation of that actually existed, which there doesn't appear to be at the moment. Perhaps there are ancient scrolls that exist that do contain the truth, and perhaps the real truth is still hidden somewhere. But most certainly, apart from books such as the Vedas, we most certainly do not have access to anything even closely resembling the truth in what we are delivered from modern mainstream academic, scientific or educational sources. And that is simply the stark reality of the matter. You know, the true reality is, and has always been, that all we can really rely on 100% is that which we go out and experience in the world for ourselves. And that's a very difficult thing for people to come to terms with. However, if one goes out and travels the world and really looks at things open-mindedly, the evidence that everything we've been told is a lie is everywhere, and it speaks for itself. And if you really look at it, one of our biggest problems, one of the things that holds us back more than anything else, comes with our blind acceptance of things. Our blind acceptance of what we're given as facts by the academic system, things that we're told, and we just take as a matter of course and just take them on as part of our everyday life without ever really investigating them. And we do this on so many levels, it's actually quite profound when you step back and look at it. Everyday things we just take as a given and don't ask questions about. And then many people tend to do this when they're researching as well. They just blindly accept what they find online. They find something that reinforces their belief system and they blindly accept it and they move on from that point. Because that's what belief systems do. As soon as you adopt a belief system, you look for stuff that reinforces that belief system and you disregard everything else. You just close yourself off to all possibilities. That's what is so dangerous about adopting belief systems halfway through this journey of life. Because it's a wondrous world, folks, and it's an amazing world, and it is nothing like what we're told it is, and we are nothing like what we are told we are. The question is, what are we? And what is this world? Where do we come from? How do we get here? And where are we going? And the answer to all of these questions is what we're all searching for at the moment, because we've been led so far from our true path. And the biggest danger in trying to find a way out of this mess is in adopting belief systems along the way and closing yourself off to the myriad of possibilities that are still out there.
People hear the saying, everything that you were taught was a lie, and we hear it and we just like, we don't even care. We care about, the basketball game, going to the club, all of these distractions. You know what I'm saying? Gotta go to work, gotta do all of this shit. And we don't really think about it. When they say everything that we were taught was a lie, that's facts. Everything that we were taught was really a lie. There's a purpose in why they told you that you live on a spinning ball that was randomly created because some dust exploded in space. There's a reason they told you that. All of the books that the ancient people that were here before us, they took all of those books and they hid them all because why? They would tell us the truth, and it will make us where we can't be enslaved how we are. We're the modern-day slaves, going to work, paying taxes. That's all everybody does. That's all everybody focuses on. Go to work and pay your taxes.
Because in America, the government works for you.
Bullshit! Listen up, kids. Everything they teach you in school is a lie. You want the truth? The world is controlled by shadowy elites and shape-shifting lizard people. Am I the only one who cares that the president is a robot? Wake up, sheeple! The evidence is right here.
But the famous wrinkly neck. Hey, look though, how y'all feeling today, man? Let me know in the comments down below. I forgot to talk to y'all in the intro and stuff. I'm just trying to keep it short, you feel me? But I just want to get to the video, the information, because this thing is beautiful. This is one of those cool videos where we can kick back and relax. Yo, if you lighten up right now, make sure you lighten up and you relaxing. If you sipping, make sure you sipping and you ain't tripping. This is one of those good, even videos right here. Good vibes only, people. Let's go, let's go, let's go. But look at this shit right here. Let me know what y'all think this is. lot of y'all gonna jump to it and be like, that was a UFO. But I don't personally believe that. I believe that it's one of our ships, one of our government ships. We got the cloaking technology. Believe me, I know.
I don't believe the Earth is flat at all, and I think I can disprove flat Earth. The Earth isn't flat. There's no fucking way the Earth is flat. This is a lot harder than I expected, proving that the Earth is round. It's fucking weird. It is way, way, way harder. But dude, I'm telling you, it's fucked up. I know the Earth is round. This is a fucking nightmare. This is literally a nightmare trying to fucking disprove this thing. The Earth is not flat. That's fucking psychotic. I really, really don't want to believe the Earth is flat, guys. Fuck! This is so fucking depressing. I can't be a flat Earth person. This can't be a reality. Some people are terrified of the flat Earth shit. I'm not. I think it's fascinating. I've enlisted the help of literally some of the best scientists in the world, and they suffer the same hubris that I see a lot of people suffer from. Again, I still believe the Earth is a sphere. I'm just having a very hard time proving it. Flat Earth sounds completely insane still to me. I can't wrap my brain around it, but I'm starting to think that I may be at the edge of my own ability to shatter what I think. I'm open to it. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. The Earth may be flat. I'm dead serious. I can't imagine the Earth being flat. I think that's insane. That to me is so unnatural. What I'm pretty sure it isn't is a ball of magma and water spinning 1,000 miles an hour through a vacuum. God damn it. The Earth is clearly not a fucking spinning ball. How the fuck are we supposed to handle all of this? I get it. I'm having a hard time with all of it. Oh, fucking stupid. The Earth is flat. It's all a lie. And of course I want to believe it. I used to want to be an astronaut. I'm not a quote-unquote flat earther. I just find it very interesting. I just think that's very interesting. I think the fuck is flat. I don't give a fuck. I'm not buying a lot of the shit anymore, guys. I don't know if it's flat or not, but it's not moving. I don't think it's spinning for shit. Every instinct of my body thinks it's a globe spinning through space. Because I've been told that my whole life so many times, I revert to it no matter how I think. That being said, none of that makes any sense. All right. There's no evidence that the Earth is a globe. None. It's not even that it's like people being angry. It's people desperately hanging on to a lie. It's so sad. The despair that people feel because of these lies is unbelievable. And the crazy thing is how many people are so beaten down that they're like, don't ask that question. Isn't a spinning ball. It's provably not a spinning ball. When someone first proposed flat Earth to me, I said that they were insane. I get it. Trauma is real, man. The trauma from public school and media and shame and all this stuff is very real. You saw some of those awakening videos with me where I was begging to not be a flat Earth person.
Have the same story that we all have. All of us that have become flat earthers had the exact same thing, except you did it live on the air. That's how you become a flat earther. You try to debunk it or prove the ball. You have to be willing to admit you were wrong. And that's what I like, that's what you did. You didn't want to be wrong. You wanted to find evidence, and when you couldn't, you realized you were wrong.
I hate being wrong. I used to call flat earthers retards, like a ton. Like I would aggressively. The average person thinks they're standing on a spinning ball. Right now, 2022. They think they're standing on a ball that's spinning 1,000 miles an hour in infinite blackness. They're literally like, I'm standing on a spinning ball right now. Zero evidence you're on a spinning ball. Look around, guys. Does that look like you're on a ball going 1,000 miles an hour? It's so fucking stupid. Most globe people have never thought about anything. They're just like, you're so very stupid. Everyone's, prove you're on a flat plane. Okay, there it is. It's right there.
That's the flat, not moving plane.
How about you prove you're on a spinning ball?
Not everybody can be a robot polisher.
So is ignorance bliss? No. Sometimes I wish I could go back. I don't. I mean, I've enjoyed my journey. There are no former flat earthers. None. Not one. Nobody's ever seen what the actual shape of the earth is and then been like, you know what? Neil deGrasse Tyson really does give me a good argument because it's literally ridiculous. I've heard all your dumb arguments. We were raised with this bullshit. Elementary school, middle school, high school, college, all of it. It's bullshit. It's retarded. Like, they act like we're the crazy people. You sound so fucking stupid when you talk flat earth. There's literally no curve. It doesn't exist. It's not real. And that terrifies a certain type of human being. And so then they'll just latch on to anything that allows them to stay in the lie. It is a lie. You have to be fucking retarded at this point to not see that no one played golf on the moon and broke the technology and can't return. Those are the childlike lies of a psychopath. Okay? That's not even close to a sophisticated lie. Not even close. All such a low-level psychopathy. It's such low-level lies. Think an abstract thought without commitment. You just think. Some people can't do that. Some people are incapable of abstract thought. Can't you just think? Can't you just ponder? They can't. I've looked myself into the nature of this reality, and it is not a spinning ball. And it's the reaction shows the lie. They're so stupid. They're so crazy. You make yourself look really dumb when you say that. I'm like, of all the things that makes you react with such vitriol, ego, intensity, it shouldn't matter at all to people. Oh, it just makes you sound totally insane. No, that reaction showed me that there's truth to it. What's seen as crazy is just looking around and saying, okay, my eyes tell me this is not a curve. Why wouldn't someone trust their eyes and their ears and their hands and their nose and their mouth and their logic? I think that there's things in the sky moving over us. Yes. Yes, I do. They have drones, balloons, huge network up there. Do I think they're going 15,000 miles an hour so they fall with the gravity of the earth and they stay there for decades without needing any maintenance or running into space junk or any particles and destroying them? And their fragile tech just keeps working and broadcasting things? No, of course not. That's retarded.
Somebody please.
Hey, look, look. That's like the awakening of of most people when you start to figure this thing out. Like, you went to school, you're indoctrinated, they told you what you were supposed to believe, and when you really start to like think for yourself, because your whole life they've been programming you to think as what? Think what they told you and nothing outside of that. They didn't advocate for people being, your own person. They didn't want you thinking on your own and explore the world. We didn't have the opportunity to go out here and explore these things. Like when we were babies, we touched, we tasted, we did everything, We were supposed to get into everything because we were trying to figure out the world that we just came back into, right? And we're filling out everything. But once you get into school and you get away from your parents, they steal that right away from you. They put you in a cubicle. They tell you what to read. They tell you the level that you should be on. All of us are completely different, and that is beautiful. No matter what color you are, that is beautiful that you are different. And we figure out different keys of the universe together. But when they get you in one place and they want you to compete over getting better grades than the other person, which good grades is cool. All of that's cool. But it's not our focal point of life, if you can understand. So when all the things that they've been teaching you since you were a child, just like if your parents told you, oh, I'm your parent, I'm your biological parent. Then you grew up and you're 30 and they was like, you do have real parents. And they lied to you your whole life, you're going to feel some type of way. And we've been hiding you away from that and from your real parents. You're probably going to disown them. You're probably never going to talk to them again and find your real parents. And that's what happens when you start to wake up. Let's get back into this video though, man. Y'all still tracking? Hey, let me know in the comments down below. It don't matter if it's flat or a disc or whatever. We're on this thing together, but let me know in the comments how y'all feel about this. And stay tuned. I'm going to be dropping the link for the GoFundMe to send our balloon up so we can really figure this thing out together.
Please tell me what the chances are that two people with a very similar background come out within the last 48 hours and both say there's going to be a Black Swan event or one's coming really soon. This is Ron Paul.
We're reaching this point where some sudden thing is going to happen. I believe in that theory of the Black Swan.
Yes.
It's going to pop up, and it's not going to be controllable. But people, you ask, what can they do? I think...
What can we do? Be aware. Next, General Flynn.
Things, we call them Black Swan events, right? Black Swan events are things that nobody imagined could occur, and yet they did, right? And they you know, and then they have these incredibly, you know, mostly devastating effects. So I just think.
So what do you think both these guys are pointing to? Remember, their background is extremely similar, and they both came out and said this at the same time. Meanwhile, I can't tell you if this is true or not, this is speculation. Someone pointed out, why did her foot break and split behind the wire? That looks really weird. And then allegedly, new pictures of Prince William came out, and look at the hands. Is that not artificial intelligence? Kind of like how they released this fake picture. This kind of stuff just does not happen in a normal world. And also, there's an investigation at the hospital where she was, where someone tried to pry into her medical records. What do y'all think? Was that her in that video? Also, a reporter for BBC said that they know her personally and that it was not her. Again, their words, not mine.
You are about to see pages from one of the strangest patents in the entire U.S. Patent Office. This is U.S. Patent number 2006-001-4125A1, or the Walking Through Walls Training System. According to the abstract on the patent that you can all go and read yourselves, this invention is a training system which enables a human being to acquire sufficient hyperspace energy in order to pull the body out of the third dimension, so that a person can walk through solid objects such as walls or wooden doors. This patent is very real and was taken incredibly seriously by members of the U.S. military, especially by the U.S. Army's 1st Earth Battalion, a real unit in the Army that based their principles upon the Jedi Order from Star Wars. What do you guys think about this?
Damn
it. Why you think?
I love looking at these patents though. Like let me know y'all be looking them up, man. Like that's information. That's beautiful information. I'm telling you, just read through it. It's crazy. You're not crazy when they actually tell you, but imagine what I always say, what they're not telling you.
They trying to ban TikTok. Man, ain't nothing nobody can do now. It's over with for America. Nigga, in our lifetime, we'll see it changing. Our kids, they're gonna be a slave to the people. If they wanna come get their organs, they'll come get their organs. Our kids are gonna have, our kids are gonna be like our ancestors. It's not, we done waited too long to wake up. Nigga, we've been doing this, we've been gangbanging for 50 years.
Yeah.
Nigga, we done waited too long. It's over. Our worst nightmares is about to come true for our babies, my nigga. They are so far behind the rest of the world till it's pathetic. They don't know gaming, they don't know coding, man, they fucked up. They don't know bitcoins, they don't know nothing. But a goddamn video game.
Oh, there you go, tablets on the bill.
Nigga, man, our kid gonna be fucked up on. So, I'm just enjoying my days, real. Now y'all laughing. Now I wake up every day, nigga, live life to the full because I don't know, my nigga. We can't put these phones down, we can't none of us fix them. Think about this, nigga. We can't put them phones down, but can't none of us fix them. We can't fix the screens when they crack. If the charger port go out, they was teaching us that, nigga, in the warehouse jobs. They stopped. Refurbishing phones, they stopped, nigga. So nah, nigga, nah. Nigga, they gonna be fucking our babies, my nigga. They gonna be fucking our baby, gonna take that dick, nigga, just y'all laughing, homie. Y'all, see, that's why I hate coming on black platform, my nigga. Well, what the black people, see how black people think everything's funny because the truth gonna hurt. Nigga, if y'all think history don't repeat itself, it's coming. It's coming. Nigga, and our kids are gonna be more susceptible to getting fucked in the ass because they growing up in a gay community, nigga, we didn't.
In a gay culture?
They're gonna lay down and take it. Why you think you catching your boy cousin hunching and getting booted now? Why you think in family they catching two boys, dogs is doing it, homie? They know what they doing. But black people too busy laughing. That's why I don't get serious too often, homie, because I know black people, everything is laughter. That's why I try to stay in character with black people, because black people, man, you got it, they too amused. I call it the entertainment whore's mind. That's why when they hear truth, they laugh. You know, folks don't laugh at nothing I say.
They know the truth.
Know what they know. But nigga, black people don't. And they going back to slavery, I swear to God.
Think so?
And you watch it now. You are on your phone all day long, not making a dollar, but everybody else is making billions of dollars off you logging in. You are the digital slave. You drive like just like the slave. Your kid, you won't look at your kids. You are a slave already. You just not being beat.
This is gonna blow your mind. For those of you that follow me yesterday, I posted this tweet saying that Yellowstone was getting cooked. And that is because me and some other people noticed the activity going on at these radar stations. And we've seen wild things happen in the past. Crazy weather, earthquakes. You are not going to believe this. Within 5 minutes of this first radar anomaly, an earthquake swarm began at Yellowstone. Check this out. Within 5 minutes that this radar tower goes off with a signal. Now I can't backtrack anymore to see if it went off just before the quake, but chances are it did, because the other quakes line up exactly perfect with the next time this thing goes off. I'll get in a little closer here, and you're not going to believe this. Check out the times of this earthquake swarm at Yellowstone. 10:32 UTC, this 2.8. This one here was at 6:15 after the 5:30 beam, a 2.1 at 11:20, right as we were getting that 11:20 to 11:50 beam, and so on and so forth. My friends, every one of these earthquakes falls either exactly on time or within a range each time this radar tower goes off. I'll run through the whole line again for you. Here's the 5:30 shot. We're moving down the line. This one right here. Go, there it is. 10 o'clock UTC. We'll go even farther. And here's the final one right there. 11:55 into 12. And right after this, we have one about 13:20, I want to say. 13:35 is the last time we see this happen. And we can go all the way across the chart to prove that. Not a single flash from those radar towers after that, putting every one of these earthquakes within the time frame of those flashes. Something else to point out, in the last 30 days at least, as I get down into this area, I'm going to click on this earthquake right here, 3.1. Besides one other earthquake, this is the strongest one to hit Yellowstone in over a month. If I go to 30 days, all magnitudes, we can see right here that will pop up in a second. There they are. And if I go to the largest magnitude, it actually is the largest, 3.1 literally today. In the last month, this earthquake hit the caldera exactly when that first pulse came off that radar. And then as we move through the beginning of the day into basically current time, we saw 3 to 4 other pulses that then ended with other earthquakes. I don't understand how this can be explained away anymore. These things are happening almost on a daily basis now and being caught. So this is something for a lot of you to check out, because I don't know how else to explain this besides these radar stations, or whatever type of technology is there, is seemingly responsible for these earthquakes we're seeing today at the caldera of Yellowstone supervolcano. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, why do you think they're doing this? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to test things to see the limits they can reach. I'm not sure. But whatever's happening here, there is a synchronicity to it that I can't ignore. I mean, what are the chances of this? These earthquakes falling in between the exact pulses of this radar station. It's the strongest earthquake this area has seen in well over a month, and 2 of these radar systems are doing this. The one in Nevada, again, we talked about yesterday, overlapping right about here with the other massive tower we get that literally reaches the caldera of Yellowstone right here. You can see the circle of the beams here. It actually reaches where the volcano is. And there was one other thing I picked up here before I let you guys go. There was a weird flash in the Dakotas. You're going to see that right there. This thing just pops up out of nowhere right before or right after that first flash. There it is. So this is the end of the 1335 flash, and then we had an ensuing earthquake or 2 or even 3. And then right after that, we had this weird flash on another radar station right here. If they're connected or not, I do not know, but to ignore this Yellowstone stuff and to continue saying that this stuff is not connected just doesn't make sense to me anymore. I understand people have their deep beliefs about none of this stuff existing, but how can we deny all this information? If anyone has any questions or comments, I'll answer the best I can. There's a lot of people online here that know about this stuff even better than I do. I just happen to catch it a lot. And here it is again. Major radar burst followed by a literal earthquake swarm in Yellowstone. My friends, what is going on here?
My friend who works at CERN called me tonight.
Hey, I ain't gonna hold you. That's a little bit wild, ain't it? That's a little bit concerning. Volcanoes ain't nothing to play with. And then the Yellowstone volcano. I mean, if you don't know, then then I guess you need to go look it up. You know, the possibilities behind that thing. Like, why would somebody want to play with that? Do y'all think that they're shooting frequency weapons at the volcanoes and trying to get them things to erupt? I don't know, man. Stuff is getting weird out here in these streets. Well, it's been weird. It's just getting more weirder, you know?
And was absolutely in a panic. And now that I've heard what he said, I'm in a panic. And I don't like feeling this way.
If you haven't seen Dante's Peak, go watch Dante's Peak. It's a movie about a volcano.
My friend who works at CERN called me tonight and was absolutely in a panic. And now that I've heard what he said, I'm in a panic. And I don't like feeling this way. Okay, this is footage of from his house, the ring system. Okay? He's concerned because they basically are trying, as people have said, to bring through an interdimensional being in a manifestation that is 3D, so flesh and blood on this plane. In order to do so, they must direct a massive amount of both quantum entangled energy, which is more like Louch or sort of metaphysical energy, and also real energy. But to do so, they must vector it to a specific area where they want the manifestation to occur. They don't want to do it on Earth because, out of an abundance of caution for what, who knows what will happen. So they're directing it towards the moon. When he's been looking at the moon through his ring here, he's noticed the moon has flared in terms of magnitude. It's way too bright. It should never be this bright, ever, ever, ever. Also, his ring system is zooming in and out through the night. It's never done that before, ever, okay? Moreover, they all at CERN were told when this was happening to think of the moon constantly. They wanted everyone to think about it. The other night they did an experiment with a combination of quantum entanglement, theoretical quantum entanglement, and also like vector-induced energy weapons. They need an object apparently to manifest, or they call it embody, for them to embody a quantum entangled sequence of particles we theoretically predict will form mass intelligently enough to render it into a being of some sort, a flesh and blood, well, not necessarily blood, but a flesh being, a three-dimensional, or something that might be extra-dimensional or interdimensional. The point is simply this: they need an object. They don't want to use anything on Earth, so they are using the moon, and they are pointing it at there. They actually have an interface for the point where the quantum entanglement occurs in CERN. They have a way to connect it on a vector to the moon in terms of a quantum entangled direction for 3D manifestation. But the point is this: do you know why the being says in their communications with each other why it's coming here? Because it wants gold. It wants to bring gold somehow to its dimension. How? I have no idea. He didn't explain that part. But this is where it gets weird. When they did this at 2:44 a.m., okay, which, in Switzerland time, it was the equivalent. And when they did this, okay, the moon disappeared. All that, I didn't even get into it. Preceding all that, if you noticed how bright it was, the moon was crazy bright. That was I'm sorry, I can't even do this voiceover because I'm thinking, so I'm crazy about this, okay? He says that they're going to bring this thing through in 17 days. 17 days from now, today's the 22nd. So literally in 17 days, they say it's going to be benign. I'm like, who are you talking to that you're getting such assurances that this entity that you're bringing in from a quantum realm is going to be benign?
Military liaison between the Pentagon and NASA. I'm here as a anonymous whistleblower to tell everyone that what happened on April the 8th was not an eclipse. What happened on April the 8th was called Project Pegasus. It's been in the planning for years. What occurred, not an eclipse, since the moon was beside the sun during it and not crossing it, and also it's for both in Pisces. The whole thing is ridiculous, and that's how much credit the government gives all of you, because they'll do something that blatantly wrong, inaccurate, just impossible. And yet they know that Americans they'll be called conspiracy theorists if they even bring it up. So they do it, and they don't even care, okay? So what did they do if there wasn't an eclipse? The biggest thing you have to realize is the coincidence, which was no coincidence, of CERN being turned on that day.
It is near impossible to explain or understand for most of us, but monumental nonetheless.
CERN was turned back on that day, and immediately after it was turned on, this is what appeared in the sky above CERN in Switzerland on the 8th. A literal portal was created above CERN, and this was actually predicted, which is one reason why it was filmed by many people who were in the know. But ever since they discovered the Higgs boson in 2012, the God particle, that's when all of this contact began to occur.
Using a particle accelerator, believe they have found the subatomic particle known as the Higgs boson, otherwise known as the God particle. Here you have it.
Because this whole thing of Project Pegasus was about CERN. Through its experiments with the God particle and particle acceleration in general, they achieved quantum entanglement. Quantum entanglement is a phenomenon when, by working at the quantum level and getting to the true incredible energy of particles, once they combine or collide, there was something that occurred where the quantum entanglement manifested in a being emerging from another dimension, another alien being that emerged. Through that, this was a couple years ago, through that introduction, through that communication, 3 governments got involved in a negotiation that occurred in a very bizarre way, because it didn't actually happen in person. I'm not going to waste time explaining how the negotiations happened, but between Russia, China, and America, they dealt with this species, and this species offered a deal. And the deal was that we would be given something if they were allowed to come here to Earth and basically set up a secret base. What did we get, and what's their secret base about? Okay, I'll just quickly tell you. What we got was AI. Think about it. Didn't AI emerge out of nowhere 2023? And didn't it emerge, not just out of nowhere, in an incredibly mature, sophisticated level of complexity that kind of makes sense for a new technology? And even now, 1 year into it, a year and a half into it, whatever we're at, it's getting scary what it can do. I mean, it's indistinguishable from reality in some cases. Okay, so that's where we're at 2 years into AI, and that's because AI, like a lot of our technology, like the microchip and other things that we got from Roswell and the Greys, this is another technology from another higher level species. And let me just add this, for those who think that AI is about making funny pictures or interesting videos and stuff, sure, it can do that, and that is the consumer-facing end of this technology. But if you knew the intent of AI in terms of how it will impact your everyday life, very soon, you might take a gun to your head and blow your brains out. It is that radical of a shift. What the government intends to do with this shiny toy called AI. That's what we got. In return, they got basically the southern half of Antarctica below the South Pole. And that is why, well, let me, first things first, what the hell happened if not an actual eclipse? Well, a couple things. Number one, they required, in order to do this, and when I say do this, the event to happen on the 8th was the alien species coming through to our dimension. In order to come through, they required a few things. Number one, they required Louch. What is Louch? Louch is the energy expended and exhibited by human beings when they are collectively excited and focused on something, like at a rock concert or during church or something like that.
Oh, it's emotional. I can't explain why, but it is. We had tears, we had screams, we had fireworks.
So by having grabbing so much of the planet, looking up at a certain time of day, and everybody giving their attention and their emotions to it. Which, by the way, if you watch some videos, you had newscasters crying.
It just took my breath away, the whole thing.
That was a bit odd that they were crying. And the reason they were crying was because it was an incredibly emotional thing, because the aliens made it so. The aliens made it so because the energy created or received from the Louch, and again, I've defined what Louch is.
What's that all about?
That Louch energy, coupled with the energy of the sun, allowed them at the time of the quote-unquote eclipse, and for their mothership, which is what that circle was. It wasn't the moon. Their mothership came out of nowhere, entered into the area of the sun, stopped. Did you notice how it stopped for an inordinate amount of time in the center when it should have been continuing at the very slow crawl rate that the moon typically does? Well, it didn't. It stayed there for a bit of time, and that's insane, okay? That's another blatant giveaway. And again, the government thinks that no one's going to notice, or if they notice, they'll be branded a conspiracy theorist, and they don't care, so they just allowed it to happen. This ship basically connected with the sun at that moment and got an incredible amount of physical energy required for them to enter through the dimension. Coming in from another dimension takes an incredible amount of energy. The sun and our Louch did that. At that point, the ship went around the back of the sun. Did you notice that we didn't see anything depart? It just sort of disappeared into the sun. Well, it kind of did. It went around to the back, and it all actually docked there where it is at.
It did go around the back though. Like, hey, we see. Come on now. Hey, this shit is interesting, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I'm locked in. This shit is definitely interesting.
This moment that I speak.
Got y'all. Look, they all loosed up and shit and came through the portal. Got loosed up and came through this, dropped through this mug. That's crazy.
What happened next? Well, from that energy, from that Louch, from that focus, from that also that actual hydrogen-based nuclear energy you got from the sun, it was able to send a massive amount of ships and individuals of their race to the Earth into an area just north of the Antarctic base that they're going to take over. The waves, if you look at the waves stuff, the things that happened on the wave map during that time, okay?
April 9th, 2024, the day after the solar eclipse, something terrifying lurked off the coast of Antarctica. Radar systems detected a monstrous wave anomaly, an area larger than Texas with 80-foot waves. The anomaly moved up towards South Africa. At the same time, Cape Town witnessed a horrifying sight. The ocean receded dramatically, as if dragged away by some unseen force. Beaches were left exposed, waves vanished. What really happened? A glitch in the system? A creature? Or something yet to be seen?
And they had the audacity to tell the public it was a glitch. It wasn't a glitch because there is tons of video and evidence of people in South Africa running from, mini tsunami level waves that were created by these ships becoming USOs, going underwater. And from doing that and establishing themselves there, they were able to then make their move to the southern part of Antarctica. They also took animals.
We're going to talk to Jason about some of the changes that we heard. Birds making more noises.
And it's fun to see all the animals act up.
Anything you noticed with the animals as we were sitting back there just a minute ago?
They get very active now. The fish were jumping out of the water.
Left inside humanity. What do we got to do? We got to...
Ain't that interesting? What a coinky dink. Well, goddamn, when we thought we heard it all, man. What do y'all believe happened with that? These niggas that came through the portal got loosed up off of us. You feel me? Took some animals. Hit the sea. Said, fuck it. Have a tsunami hit these niggas. We're gonna take the animals. They gangster as hell. And they gonna take some land. They gangster, bro. Just when we thought we was they more gangster. Put the big ass ship in the water and just taking shit already. That's crazy, bro. Like, who negotiated with these niggas? Like, bro, did y'all sign a contract with these? We've heard about them signing contracts with other races, like of species of things before. And we seen what's happening with that. People was getting poked in weird places and stuff and got chips all in them and shit. But who's the new niggas on the block? Oh man, this is getting interesting, yo. Let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments down below, though. Let's get back to it. Ooh.
Create a new breed of humanity. Exactly what the transhumanists are saying now, the mystics of old were saying the same thing. The day will come when we will need to rejuvenate, recalibrate, alter, re-engineer humanity so that once again we can be an offspring of the immortals. But why should Christians care about a Sibyl's prophecy on the Great Seal heralding the return of Apollo? Because the Bible identifies the god Apollo as the same spirit, verified by the same name, that will inhabit the political leader of the end times new world order. 2 Thessalonians, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. This is the Greek word Apollyon, which is the Greek's way of saying what we call Apollo. Apollia, Apollyon, Apollo. Revelation 17:8 ties the coming of the Antichrist with the return of Apollo. The beast that thou sawest was, and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and go into perdition. Apollia, Apollo. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. This phrase is held by many theologians who believe that it pointed to either a spirit or a personality that existed on the earth, was dead at the time or gone at the time of the writing of Revelation 17:8, but who will return in the latter days to either be or to possess the Antichrist. Both the Bible and ancient records and the prophecy on the Great Seal tell us it is Apollo. He is equivalent to the Egyptians as Osiris. In the Old Testament, he is called Nimrod. If we had had time, we would have talked about this question, but how could Apollo, Osiris, Nimrod possibly return in flesh or spirit as Antichrist? But it has to do with the Kume Sibyl's prophecy of a new breed of men, and the same thing that I was talking about. Well, there it is, Genesis 10:8, and Cush begat Nimrod. He began to be, this is the Hebrew halal, which means either ritualistically, he began to change sexually, or to change genetically, or it can flatly just refer to the same thing when the Bible refers to all flesh having become corrupted upon the earth. He began to change genetically, and as he did, what did he become? A mighty, a Gibborim in the earth. He immediately sets out to build a tower. His eyes were opened, like we talked about last night, to new modes of perception, what the transhumanists want. Suddenly he saw something. He wanted to build a tower whose top would reach into the heavens. Roosevelt and Wallace believed it. Here's Nicholas Roerich holding the sacred casket. Wallace was a devotee of Nicholas Roerich. I went to the house of the temple. I want to know if there was anything to this, so I went to the lion's den. I had people praying and fasting for me. I took my wife. We went to the house of the temple. We went to the headquarters of the Scottish Rite Freemasonry in Washington, D.C. on 16th Street, and not on a public tour. We went and met privately with 2 Freemasons of the 33rd degree order. They took us inside. They answered every question except one. I'm going to tell you what that question was. When we went into the sacred room there, the chapel, with its giant altar, and I looked up at the 36-paneled magic 666 square that is used during the raising ceremony to bring forth the spirit of Osiris from the underworld to incarnate him in every U.S. president. When I was standing there, I'm familiar with the raising ceremony. A 32nd degree Freemason becomes a 33rd degree. They go through this process of raising Osiris from the dead to be incarnated within that individual. But what I had been told was that ceremony was secretly conducted at the inauguration of every United States president, beginning posthumously with George Washington and extending through every U.S. president. And when I asked them if that was true, they would not answer that question. One guy got nervous and walked out of the room. The other one just stayed nervous and stood looking at me. And my wife gave me a look like, "Don't press it, buddy." I believe the greatest conspiracy of all time is sitting out in Washington, D.C. It's also here at the Vatican. This is the ancient structural representation of the womb of Isis. This is the ancient structural representation of the erectile phallus of Osiris. Your capital city is laid out as a magical construct based on ancient Egyptian beliefs for the exact purpose of raising Osiris from the dead so that he could be incarnated within every U.S. president. That's the way the city's laid out. It's also laid out that way at the Vatican. Did you know, Noah, that when Pope Sixtus went and they got this obelisk, they took it from the ancient city of Heliopolis, what is called in the Bible the city of On. It was dedicated to Osiris, Isis, and the sun god Ra, and when Sixtus the Pope brought it there, he tried to conduct an exorcism on it to cast the spirit of Osiris out of it before planting it in the center of the Vatican City. All right, there's a reason why the Washington Monument has a magic square in its base where a Bible is bound. There's a reason there's a magic 666 square above that altar in the house of the temple where I was at. There's a reason there are 72 pentagrams. In their Gnosticism, they believe 72 demons control the nations of the earth, and they have bound them at the base of the apotheosis of Washington. This is the underbelly of the U.S. Capitol Dome. It's called the apotheosis of George Washington, which means to become a god. What god did he become? Well, look at the heaven that he's rising into. There's not one Christian symbol. There's no Jesus. There's no cross. There is no Michael the Archangel. Every part of the underbelly of the U.S. Capitol Dome is filled with pagan gods. Here's the god Vulcan, whom Manly P. Hall tells us fills the Freemasons' hands with the seething energies of Lucifer. That's the heaven he went into. At his funeral, Freemasons cast spigs of acacia upon his body to represent that he had gone into the underworld to take his role as Osiris so that the next president could become the resurrected Osiris. Well, the occult have a plan. God has a better one.
This is not New York in 2023. This is Greece right now. I have a whole bunch of other ones to show you. This is insane. What would even cause this? Nope, not Mars. Still Greece.
But look at it. Looks like
I think them aliens came down here, man, and they smoking some tree, and it's just lighting the whole world up right now.
there's like black.
Possible. Anything possible.
This is nuts.
Just saying.
This is really nuts. It's literally orange. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's orange.
Told y'all they was ghetto. They put us smoking that dank. Telling you. And this stank got the city all lit.
Everything is orange.
Do you hear what he said? He said there's something black in the sky. He said that obviously it's orange, but there's something black. I'm not sure because when New York was orange, they said it was because of Canadian fires. But he's saying he sees something black in the sky.
There's no filter on nothing.
What could be black in the sky causing it to turn orange in Greece? On a completely unrelated note, you can buy this flamethrower dog right here, right now, for $9,500. Cheaper than most vehicles. And again, completely unrelated note, Canada is on fire like I was showing y'all. And it's not just trains and stuff, it's literally watchtowers too. And with places turning orange, all these fires, all these big earthquakes coming out of nowhere, all these fish dying in the ocean, I feel like something's coming.
Woo! Hey, Earth is turning up. Earth getting ghetto as hell. We got us some. Do y'all think that we got us some unpleasant neighbors that's destroying terraforming some shit? Maybe, I don't know, man. But I think, all right. On a serious note, do y'all think that we are at a point where publicly everyone should know instead of everything being such a goddamn secret? How can we evolve if we're not being told the truth about every move? Because the government is supposed to represent us, but how are we gonna be represented and we don't know? How are we gonna let people that are 100 years old negotiate things for us? I just don't get that, because their cognitive abilities decline. We might as well have might as well have babies represent us and do negotiations for us, because they decline. And we know something about older people. They're not willing to evolve. Like, I'm talking about the ones like 80, 90. They're in their ways, bro. It's over. They're not going to change, and they like to do this and that. That's why they such in a rush to try to ban TikTok, amongst other reasons, for power, control, things like that. But I think a government would be a lot better if they would just tell the truth. And don't be so secretive and nasty about things. Trying to be too controlling. Trying to be that controlling ass boyfriend. Now we can't even go to the club with our friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit crazy as hell. Because that motherfucker gonna be in the bushes watching every move. You feel me? Looking at all your transactions on your bank account. That sound like the government, right? Jealous ass boyfriend, jealous ass girlfriend. That's what the hell they are. But look, at the end of the day, man, some interesting videos right there. The thing that came out of the water, I don't know, I feel some type of way about that. And then what actually happened with the eclipse, and those things happen simultaneously. And then with the earthquakes and the sky turning orange. It is weird out here. I'm not telling you what to believe, but just let me know what you believe in the comments down below. You know, everything we were taught was a lie. Like I always say, spread your love, because there's too much hate in this world. Love you guys. I'll see you on the next video. And I'm out though. Bye.